lots of crosswind going through the feed zone. Astana waited to probably a K or two at the max. I'd say probably a K after the feed zone, and then they put it down. They put it down hard.
Did you anticipate that? Did you know it was coming?
I didn't know it was coming, but I anticipated something. The wind coming through the feed zone was unbelievable how much crosswind it was. And it's the Tour de France. We got one objective to look after Cadell. He knows he wants to be at the front at all times. And so going through the feed zone, I just made 100% certain that I was at the front when I took my feed. I had literally enough time to take my feed, have a Coke, eat a bar, and all of a sudden you saw the Astana guys mass at the front. And there's only one reason when guys do that. And so they put it down, split the group. Then after that, the real story is that they split the group, but they really didn't have a whole lot of reason to keep going, but they still kept riding anyways. And then because Moreau missed the move, and some say he was back there changing his shoes or seeing the medical car, I'm not certain which, but he missed the move. A couple other guys that were semi a threat on GC, but not a big one. I'd say only Moreau was the only big threat. They rode, and then of course Quick Step rode just to bring the break back so they'd have a chance to win with Moonin, and so did Barloworld. Barloworld also rode too. So on top of that, you had Sonia Duval riding. So you had 4 teams riding there at the front to keep Christophe Moreau out of GC and also to bring back the stage for the win. And then as we came down in the final, I took Freddie up to Boonin's wheel. Just as we, yeah, my job was to look after Freddie right at the finish. Dario Cioni's was to look after Cadell. I dropped Freddie off right behind Boonin with 2K to go or something. As we come down the descent into the twisty turn there, guys just went in too fast, caught the curb, flipped over, and went onto the guardrail.
Stage win still a possibility for you? Something you're thinking about? The time trial? Or what are your thoughts for the rest of the race?
For sure, it's possible, but it's getting a little bit more difficult because I work for the team, and you also get a little bit tired of that. And for us, it's important to have the yellow jersey so long as possible. And yeah, I'm going to see. Maybe I can go in a break also today, but I think we must stay calm and just be happy that we have the yellow jersey in the team.
Just wanted to find out the extent of your injuries after the crash yesterday.
I had bad luck, but I was lucky. I didn't crash. I was behind the crash. I was inside of the crash, but if you saw the images, everybody around me crashed, and I was the only guy who was able to keep his bike up. But the problem was Julian, he was lying in front of me, and so was his bike. So I stood still, and then I had to pass him, and everybody was already gone. Yeah, not even only the stage win. If I'm just able to stay up, and I stay up, if I'm able to pass, and I get like 5th place or something, the green jersey would have been safe until Paris. I would have been relaxed, and all the other guys would have been stopped sprinting for the intermediate sprints. But now we have to start fighting again until Paris.
Yesterday was a pretty active day, a lot of attacking, and I was basically protecting Cadell most of the day, and I felt really good. As we hit the last 20 kilometers, I was super confident. Legs felt like I was just soft pedaling the whole day. I knew I had a good chance. I knew there was a lot of luck involved. I'd seen I'd played everything perfectly, except for the last kilometer. You know, we were told a kilometer and a half is going to be, small roads, but nowhere in the course profile did it say anything about an S chicane at high speed. And I think that, 9 out of 10 times the peloton would have crashed in that corner. There was just no way to avoid it. I had nothing to do but just hit the guardrail at full speed. Really disappointing because again I blame the Tour de France organization for not looking after the riders' best interest. At that point they're just looking at start and finish money and who's paying the most money to have the riders show up at certain places, and they're really not thinking it over what's good for our health.
Gut läuft, werde ich es probieren, und wenn nicht, dann werde ich es sein lassen, weil schlussendlich muss der Tag stimmen. Und yeah, I think it was not easy because already on the start we had a lot of wind, and then I think we saw that we was going slower. I think everybody was happy, and now on the end I was thinking, hey, why always keep everything every day? And for this I was going slowly on the last 15 kilometers for slow down and maybe recovering a little bit more than maybe the other ones. Maybe now we see for tomorrow.
One more day closer to Paris, the way I look at it. A little bit risky and so on today, crosswinds and that again, but not quite as crazy as yesterday.
In the meantime, what, mate? A lot of relaxation, a good massage tonight, perhaps?
Go home, have a good night's sleep, then think about it tomorrow.
Are you confident, I guess?
it's going to be the first time trial of the tour, and I'm as interested as anyone to see how everyone else is going, and yeah, of course, how I'm going.
It's only getting easier because the pressure is gone after the stage win in Ghent. And well, four victories, it's nice for the tour. Last year we had to wait until the 18th stage, so I heard the atmosphere was a little bit worse. And I was at Lawton, we won 3 stages, so it was really great. Maybe it's my influence.
Thanks, Kit.
Okay.
But I heard that the UCI say you have missed 2 of their dates, and that the Danish anti-doping agency also claim that you've missed 2 of theirs.
Well, I have a written warning from last year in March because I pure and simply forgot to send in my second quarter information, and I received the warning for that even before the period ran out, which is quite bizarre. And I received another warning at the end of June.
But with cycling the way it is, it's very important that these details are exact. Otherwise, these grey areas become very, very serious.
Yeah, and I admit I made a mistake, and I received a warning for that. Those are the rules, and I accept that warning.
There's an allegation from a rider in the United States named Whitney Richards. I wanted to know if you know this name, and to respond to this allegation, he was asked by you to bring a box to Italy from the United States that he was told were cycling shoes, and opened the box and found some kind of bovine hemoglobin. Do you know this name, and have you heard this story?
No, I cannot confirm any of that. I know his name, yeah.
I think I did 3 years of hard work, very hard work from the first race I won, first important race, until last year in the tour, always the same. And then now, just from last year after the Worlds, I took some time off, I tried to relax a little bit more. For me, I did a good spring season, and then I took again some time off. And that was the first time after a long time I really had some time to do something else. And then I started preparing the tour, and everybody knew I had an injury, again a little bit time off, and I think it's the big difference is that I'm fresh again, and that will change. It's changing a lot, and it will change a lot for getting into Paris with a good condition. And it's been a while since I was able to really increase my performance in a stage race like this. And if you look to the figures, I'm even better than Vuelta 2005 when I was preparing the Worlds, and that means for me that I'm probably getting one of my best shapes ever, and it will be nice that next week. It will be necessary next week also.
Came across the line alone today. Was that a time cut decision, or was that your own decision, or when did you know the tour was over for you?
Yeah, it was hard, even for me on the Galibier stage, and I was hoping that these few flat days would be a little easier than they were, so I could get my, body back together. But it's not like that, and so for me, it was as soon as you come off the back of a group. I mean, it's pretty easy to know that it's over. So as soon as I came off, that's when I knew. I hate that it turned out this way, and then, I have to say goodbye to everybody, and they're going to be upset, and not upset, but sad, and I'm sad, but we're all still friends, and life goes on. So thank you. Sorry. Yeah, see you next year. Bye.